Many thanks for joining us here on News. Let's start off with the very first story this morning. And fire has razed down the Ofoase office of the Ghana National Fire Service in the eastern region. It's unclear what might have triggered the fire, but a source at the station attributes it to a burning bush close to the offices. Edwin Kofi has more information on this and is joining me on phone now with those details. So, Kofi, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, what do we know about this fire and how it even started in the first place?
Well, Chanchahine, according to a source at the fire station, he is a fire officer himself. The incident happened, that was last Sunday in the evening around 9 p.m. And according to him, they've all vacated the station. That is the usual practice they do there because he says they are understaffed. So they are unable to operate the mandatory 24-hour shift that they're supposed to do. So currently they do the 12-hour shift. That is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So after that, if there is any fire outbreak, don't expect any fire service officials in the area to come to your aid.
So the interesting bit is there was a fire outbreak at their own office and they were nowhere to be found.
Exactly. They were nowhere to be found because they do not operate the 24-hour shift that they are supposed to do. So a source at the fire station told me that the fire occurred when a burning bush close to the fire station actually extended it, the damage to the fire station, and that is why the fire station as well caught fire. So the source also told me that when the fire officers were called, they were nowhere to be found because some of them do not live in the Ofoase community. They live outside the Ofoase district. Some live in Odan and surrounding towns. So that is what happened in Ofoase.
Okay, so I want to know the extent of damage now. Is it such that the building is completely out, as in there's no way they can even operate in that particular facility?
Unfortunately, the building is a private residence they are operating from. They do not have their official office. Okay. Currently, they are building it, but they've not completed. So somebody, a good Samaritan has offered his building to the fire service to operate from. And as I speak, the building is completely gone. It's been razed down completely. So they lost everything except for their fire engine. That is the tender, okay, which they usually park at the district assembly premises in Ofoase.
All right. Kofi, many thanks for your time. Now, let me go on to the phone lines once more and speak to the Regional Safety Director of the Ghana National Fire Service. In that particular region, I'm speaking of the Eastern region, in the person of Ado Mate, who's joining us live over the telephone. Mr. Mate, good morning and thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Good morning, and thank you to your panel and your listeners.
Indeed. Now, my very first question is, how come the fire service was unable to anticipate this? Because obviously you do tell us that one of your duties is to anticipate fires and stop them even before they happen. You are unable to anticipate fire in your own backyard.
Yes, I can say in authority that indeed there was a fire which affected our office at Ofoase, which was commissioned 3 months ago. Let me use this medium to correct an impression. The building was not for a private person. It was for the assembly. That was their old structure before they left for the new one. So the old place was given to fire service to operate in temporarily, while they are also constructing a new one, which was supposed to be commissioned anytime soon. It's almost at the completion stage. So indeed there was a fire, and the regional command immediately set up an investigative team, and they visited the place, and we are on our investigation. So for now, I can say that investigation is ongoing. However, we can't say that because there was a fire, when there's a fire, we cannot respond. The fire engine is there, the men are there. Should anything happen, fire service will be able to respond appropriately.
Where are you currently operating from as we speak?
Currently, we are operating from the assembly. We have been given the down floor of the assembly, the new office they have commissioned for the assembly. So we have been given as a temporary office until the new site is fully completed. According to the DC at the Atimasi district, he assured the service that by ending of March, the new office will be completed so that the firemen will go there and continue with their operations.
I'm curious to find out something. Our correspondent tells us one thing as to why you were unavailable at the time of this fire. But I want to find out from you, why is it that you couldn't respond to this particular fire?
For now, like I said, such issue needs to be investigated.
No. I'm not asking what caused the fire. I'm asking how you were unable to respond to the fire in time to put it out.
Oh, the firemen, when they were called, they responded. But fire when it starts, it doesn't wait for anybody. It progresses fast, depending upon the combustible nature of the building. And looking at the place, there were 6 offices. 2 were being occupied by the assembly. They were having their waste bins and other materials in 2 of the buildings, which were underlocked. So looking at the combustible nature of those materials, probably if the fire should start from that end, you can imagine the extent of damage it caused to the whole structure. So the firemen were able to contain by preventing the fire from spreading to other adjoining, buildings as well, and not having part of the area as well. So they responded and they were able to, in the fire.
Our correspondent tells us that indeed the Ghana National Fire Service, that particular unit of yours, does not operate a 24-hour service. How true is this?
That's why I said we are investigating.
No. I have a problem when you keep answering the questions that we are investigating. I'm just asking, how come the Ghana National Fire Service unit in the Eastern region does not run a 24-hour service?
That is not how we operate. Per our modus operandi, a fire station is being run 24/7. So a fire station is not supposed to be run 12 hours or less than or below 24 hours. So
how come it's being run as such?
That's why I'm saying that the regional command did all that it could to make sure the men were sent there to man the place. So for such a instance, it is also left to us to also investigate.
Okay.
So that we can prove further to see who did what. Then we'll be able to, come out with the whole truth.
Okay. But as things stand now, you're in no position to tell us what could have probably triggered this fire?
Because investigation is ongoing, I wouldn't want to, say anything before we conclude on our investigation. So I'm pleading with all to exercise patience so that by the time we are done with our investigation, the truth will come out. Whoever needs to be punished will be punished, or whoever needs to be dealt with will be dealt with. So, Fire Service Eastern Region, we are operating, and nothing.
Do I sense premeditated arson in what you say? Is it that you think, or you have reason to believe that someone might have set this place on fire?
In fact, the investigation will unravel whatever happens.
No, I'm asking of what you think. What your instincts tell you?
Oh, the fire was a confined one. There wasn't any external fire where you can say it travels from, the nearby, area, whereby, it's located within it's an isolated place. There were, bushes around. So the fire didn't start from the bush. It was a confined fire within. So we are still on our investigation. I believe that we'll be able to detect that cause of the fire.
Okay. Many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning. And you heard me speak there to Adomate, who is the Regional Safety Director of the Ghana National Fire Service in the Eastern region, telling us much more about that fire that has rather ironically raised down the structure of the Ghana National Fire Service in the region. He still tells us, though, that the facility is still running. I'm speaking of the service in the region is still running, and that there's no cause for alarm. If there's any fire whatsoever, they will still be able to fight it. But away from that,